Aloha friends and welcome or welcome back. If you're new to this channel, my name is Maria Emmerich. I'm a nutritionist who specializes in the keto and carnivore lifestyle. And I myself have been keto for over 26 years now. In a few months, it'll be 27 years. That's why I don't get when people like, you can't do it long term. And most of the time, the reason is because it's not sustainable. I don't understand why they believe this is not sustainable, but maybe the vegan diet is. That just doesn't make sense to me. But today I wanted to talk to you about some of the top myths that I see with maybe newbies that haven't been doing it so long, or I don't know. There's so much on the internet that I would not recommend when it comes to keto. I'm almost embarrassed to say that, I'm keto because of what people think that I eat, just bacon all day and butter in my coffee. I don't even drink coffee. But one of the biggest, I think, mistakes people, well, first let's back up a little bit. Aloha friends, are you a carnivore like our carnivore friend over here? Well, if you are, or if you just started out, you might notice that you have low energy, even low moods, heavy legs walking upstairs. And what that means is that carbohydrates retain water. And when you eliminate all those carbohydrates, along goes all that water loss. You might get migraines, headaches. And what you need to do is you can't just drink more water because you're just going to urinate more. You need to add in something like Element. Element is a perfect electrolyte that has the best amount of sodium, potassium, and magnesium ratio. And they are so generous. If you use code, or actually if you go to drinkelement.com/KetoMaria, you get a free sample with your order. I love it. We always pack it when we come on safari or any of our trips, and it tastes delicious. I love this orange salt, and I actually marinate chicken with it. It's super delicious. Oh, check that out. How cool is that? Don't miss the free sample. It's awesome. Kai loves the grapefruit salt. Oh, we have more animals coming up. It's pretty cool, huh? Look at that. Isn't that amazing? Don't miss the free sample. It's awesome. 9% of people venture into the keto or carnivore lifestyle because they want to have some weight loss. They might have other goals like multiple sclerosis, type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, but along with that, they'll say, I also would like to lose weight. And so with that, probably the biggest mistake that I see is people searching for a higher ketone number and lowering the protein amount so they can get a higher ketone number by eating more fat. Yes, you will see higher ketones with eating a lot of fat and very little protein and little to no carbs. However, higher ketones do not mean better results when it comes to weight loss. And in fact, you're probably going to gain weight doing that. If you do see weight loss, you're losing muscle, which is the worst thing for insulin resistance or type 2 diabetes. Why? Because when you have muscle, you have more places for glucose to go. When you do like a fat fast, that's where you just eat fat. I don't recommend it. You are going to lose muscle and you have less places for the glucose to go, in which will just make your type 2 diabetes worse. I have many clients, many people reaching out to me saying, I did that. I did like fat fast and only fat, and my blood sugars were getting worse. My type 2 diabetes was getting worse, and that's why. So do not just focus on fat. Get your macros done. I have a free macro calculator on ketomaria.com. Totally free. Just do it. Just find out what they are. I will say the one mistake when people do the macro calculator is that they underestimate their fat mass. So I have some guidelines on how to do that. So that mistake number one goes along with number two, not getting enough protein. This is where women will say, Maria, I tried keto and I lost my hair. Maria, I tried keto and my thyroid suffered. Maria, I tried keto, this and that. Your body needs protein. There's so many different signals of your body, like your skin is turning over all the time, your hair, your nails, so many processes inside your body. I like to think of protein as more of a repairing food source, where fat and carbs are your energy sources. So if you do keto or carnivore, obviously carbohydrates are not going to be our energy source, so fat is. However, if you have a lot of fat on your body, use that for energy, people. You can use that for energy, so you can dial that fat level down. where if you're really lean, like, so when I was twice my size, my fat lever was way lower. Now I turn it way up because I don't have a lot on my body anymore and I exercise, which I used to hate exercise, people. Do you remember running the mile in high school or middle school? I tried to break my legs so I didn't have to do that. And you think I'm joking? You can ask my family. I did not like exercise whatsoever, but now it's like my natural antidepressant. So that's number 2. I mean, I can go on and on about not focusing. Protein is so important. I would say if you are doing a macro calculator that looks like twice as much fat as protein, switch it and you're going to see results. Number 3, thinking that you need thinking that you need do carb up for sleep or your thyroid health. That's not true at all. What happens though is sometimes your sleep will suffer when you start a ketogenic or carnivore lifestyle because you need more electrolytes at night. And you don't want to definitely like drink a bunch of electrolytes, but you can take these electrolyte capsules right before bed. It will help with sleep. Another reason that sleep will suffer, usually this is in women only, is as you lose weight, your progesterone will drop, and that low progesterone will cause you to fall asleep. You tend to wake up at 2 or 3 a.m. like, bing, I'm totally awake. There's some natural supplements that I put my clients on that do wonderful with that sleep. But you could start with, it could be just electrolytes that, I take 3 of these electrolyte capsules before bed and sleep like a baby. So let's see, what else do we have? Oh, dairy and nuts. This was my big problem in the beginning. When I started 26 years ago, I didn't lose weight right away. Why? But I felt great. Like my depression went away. So I was like, ooh, I'm hooked. But I ate a lot of nuts and I ate a lot of dairy. That has very little protein. Nuts are more like fat and carbs, not a lot of protein. And it was very calorie dense. So I did not lose weight, but I felt great. So that kept me on the diet, and especially like almond flour. I think, it's a blessing and a curse. It's nice that you can do some cakes or, holiday cookie baking, things like that. But this is where, if you're replacing your, carb heavy breakfast like cereal with like almond flour muffins all the time and stuff, you're probably not going to see the results you want to. Focus on protein. Protein is king. The best way to put weight on is fat plus carbohydrates. And what are nuts? They're nature's way of putting fat on animals, putting fat on squirrels, so they can go through the long winter. Fat and carbohydrates together. I feel that way about an avocado too. There's no protein in avocado, it's fat and carbs. So dairy and nuts, like if that's your easy go-to snack all the time, maybe switch to like beef jerky or something like that, and you're gonna have some much better results. Let's see. Not doing electrolytes. So not just at bedtime. I think this is like a big mistake. Number 4 is not doing electrolytes. So I used to run marathons in my beginning days of keto, and I didn't talk about electrolytes, didn't hear about electrolytes. This was well before I had children, so it must have been about 15 years ago. I was running marathons without any electrolytes, and to the point where it was a very hot day on the Twin Cities Marathon, and I don't really sweat a lot, and when I crossed the finish line, they're like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah," and then I passed out. I had to go in the tent, the emergency tent and stuff, but electrolytes are key. They're gonna keep your energy up. You're gonna like if you have heavy legs walking upstairs. Sometimes people get depressed when they start the ketogenic diet. It's not that you need carbohydrates for serotonin, but you need potassium, magnesium, sodium. You need sodium to absorb potassium and magnesium. So you can't. That was my mistake. I would just do potassium and magnesium. You need sodium to absorb those. So that's really important. You could do something like an element drink. You could do electrolyte capsules. Be careful when you're choosing some products out there, because I swear once keto got popular, everybody jumped on the bandwagon and produced a keto product. So you have to be judgy about ingredients. So that's my tip number, is it 5, 6, is the keto products. Stay away from them. If it says keto on the label, it's probably junk. If it has a label, I wouldn't eat it. I rarely eat anything from a package. So the keto breads at Costco, there's still gluten in it. There's still ingredients that are just really harmful. There's, keto protein drinks out there that have seed oils and vegetable oils. I work with this one family a couple years ago, and their son had epilepsy, and they're like, Maria, can you please create like a protein shake that we can bring to the hospital that our son can drink, because the only one that we have right now has seed oils in it. And I think that's tip number 7 is stay away from seed oils. But back to number 6, there's the keto brownies out there. There's the keto bagels and cereals and, all of these things, these cookies that you can buy on Amazon. Like if it says keto, stay away, especially those like keto candies. I think they have like gummies out there now. And if you test your blood sugar eating the keto gummies versus, or I should say, even like Chalk Zero, that's a big company out there, and everybody's going to be, upset about this, but it's the truth. If you test your blood sugar eating a Chalk Zero chocolate versus a Snickers candy bar that's the same size, your blood sugar will go higher with the Chalk Zero. And it's not a good thing. Like, don't think that just because it says keto on it or sugar-free, it's a good thing. Stay away from inulin, fiber, things like that. I have a whole blog post on ingredients to stay away from in an ingredients list. So the seed oil thing. Seed oils or sugar. I think seed oils are probably more harmful than sugar. I believe that's why we can't handle as much sugar as we once were able to, is because everybody's just eating a bunch of seed oils. Even fancy restaurants, that's what they use, or these seed oils like canola, cottonseed, soybean oil. You're going to find it in salad dressings. You'll find it in mayo. If you get an omelet at a restaurant, or I speak on the low carb cruise. And on the low carb cruise, you could go to the egg station and say, I want an omelet or scrambled eggs, whatever. They're using oils to cook it in. So I always say, here's a little pat of butter. They have wrapped pieces of butter. I'm like, can you make my eggs in oil and don't use the spray? Or make my eggs in butter. Don't use the spray or the oil. And they'll wipe it down. They'll clean it out as much as possible. When we were in South Africa, one of the chefs knew that I did not want any oil in my diet, and he actually purchased new pans to cook all of our food in, because he didn't know how serious it was. So that's really cool. Thank you. But if you can't do dairy, there's a great butter flavored coconut oil. And I have these on my shopping guide if you're interested. There's coconut oil, avocado oil, but my favorites are tallow, lard, duck fat. Those have a very high smoke point, so you can get a nice crispy sear on a steak. That type of stuff. So don't be worried if you have to stay away from dairy, you can't do the ketogenic diet, because guess what? Most of my books are dairy-free. They're all gluten-free, so you don't have to worry about that. So those are some of my big tips. Don't be afraid that the ketogenic diet is only for a short term. My children are now 13 and 14, and they've been keto high protein keto since we adopted them when they were very, very little. And when we first adopted them, they're from Ethiopia, if you didn't know that, and they weren't even on the growth charts. And I think it was a year later, they were at the 50th percentile eating protein, ketogenic lifestyle, and then 2 years later, they were at the 75th percentile. I couldn't imagine them any other way. They are wonderful to be around. They're patient, loving, kind, smart children. And I think that we need to probably, get most of the carbs away from. The kids are just eating nothing but sugar and carbs, and we expect them to focus in school. I feel really bad for them. The testimonies that we get from children, their autism is going into remission, or they feel so much better. They're actually, hugging and being affectionate. It's just like, as a mother, when I hear that story about children with autism actually being affectionate again, warms my heart, because I couldn't imagine not being able to hug and just snuggle with your kids. But I'd love to know, how long have you been keto? comment below. Let's inspire others. How long have you been keto? How has it changed your life? What benefits have you seen? What challenges have you seen? Comment below and tell us all of it. I'd love to know. And thank you all for your kind words about my a day in the life. And you wanted more of that, so I can do more of those. It's hard when I have a lot going on. So to take time to do like little clips of all day, I don't know, sometimes it's just a lot. And I don't like to do my hair, and it is what it is. But anyway, thank you everybody for your support, and I hope you have a great day. If you're interested, the shopping guide of the things that I do approve of and love will be in the links below. Mahalo, everyone. When I was 16 years old, I was diagnosed with PCOS, acid reflux, depression, and IBS. Instead of taking those prescription drugs, I decided to change my life with food. Yes, food healed me, and it's healed so many of my clients over the past 20 years of working with people. If you are interested in transforming your life, check out KetoMaria.com. I'd be honored to help you.